stop. Russia, please stop. Everyone would be like, what the fuck are you saying? Russia, please stop. Stop giving them weapons, dumbass. The fuck do you mean, Russia, please stop? Cool and fun. Putin could end the Ukraine war tomorrow, says Kamala Harris on the Ukraine-Russia war. Let's take a look at what she had to
speaking there. Let's take you live to the White House. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is speaking tonight alongside the US Vice President and Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris, who is speaking now.
Thanks to this coalition and the skill and the bravery of the Ukrainian people, along with your courageous leadership, President Zelensky, Ukraine has stood up to Russia's aggression, and today, Kyiv stands free and strong. President Zelensky, I am clear. Putin started this war, and he could end it tomorrow if he simply withdrew his troops from Ukraine's sovereign territory. Of course, he has demonstrated no intention of doing that. Instead, he continues to assault civilian infrastructure and terrorize the people of Ukraine. In Switzerland in June, along with 90 other nations at the Ukraine Peace Conference, I told you that the United States shares your vision for the end of this war, an end based on the will of the people of Ukraine.
Funny you can say the same thing about Israel. Yeah, except we also don't have a way to get Putin to stand down. All we can do, because given Russia's foreign adversary status, we have already done the fucking stick. All we have in our disposal at this point is to try to go to the table and have a normal fucking conversation. But that's like it's just never gonna even, I don't foresee that happening anytime soon. But with Israel, we are supplying Israel with the weapons. Like, can you imagine a world we were supplying Russia with the weapons? And then we kept saying, like, Russia, please stop. Russia, please stop. Everyone would be like, what the fuck are you saying? Russia, please stop. Stop giving them weapons, dumbass. The fuck do you mean, Russia, please stop? Okay. So we do have the actual power to put a stop to the Israeli genocide, but that would require us to do the normal thing, the reasonable thing, which is to, you know, stop giving Israel unlimited amounts of weapons. Yeah. But what have we done? As Mike from PA correctly points out, days after at least that U.S. aid said Israel was committing war crimes by blocking humanitarian aid, Biden-Harris promised another $8.7 billion in weapons. Our reward? Israel rejects a U.S. ceasefire proposal in Lebanon. I'm actually shocked at how bad the Harris camp is treating this. Like, it is shocking how bad America is behaving in this situation. Do you think it would stop if Israel stopped getting weapons? Yes, it would. I don't understand why people go, no, dude, America is a small bean in this. Like, it's a junior partner in this coalition. But also, America still is supplying like 90% of the fucking weapons to Israel. What are you talking about? They keep running out of bombs, dude. What the fuck do you mean? Like, that's what's so insane about this. And before you go, oh, would Iran and its proxy stop? Dude, I'm sorry, okay, but I cannot treat that sentiment with anything but, I cannot treat that sentence as anything but just pure vile Islamophobia at this point. Because in spite of like Iran or Hezbollah's domestic affairs or their treatment of fucking gay people or whatever, Iran and Hezbollah have collectively been infinitely more restrained than Israel in this entire process. Okay? What the fuck? Like, so much so that even American media has like recognized the restraint Iran demonstrated in its lack of retaliation to Israel. Israel tricked both the U.S. and France on the ceasefire proposal. Yeah, it's so funny. The reason why I was talking about the Ezra Klein thing was because like him and the other journalists that were having this conversation about Benjamin Netanyahu were like both shocked at the disrespect that Benjamin Netanyahu demonstrates on a regular fucking basis against its American allies. Like they literally were just like, he's so like openly conniving, and it doesn't make any sense. Like I don't think I think liberal Zionists and like Zionists across the board, unless they're like straight up Likud or further right, don't understand. Like unless they're Likud and further right, which by the way, if you go further right than Likud, you're just operating on Jewish supremacist attitudes, like you know the Kahanis and the like, obviously. So that's like an entirely different fucking can of worms. But like people who are to the left, at least, who are still Zionists, who still want an apartheid, are like, what the fuck is Benjamin Netanyahu doing? Like, they don't understand it. They're like they like that he's bombing Lebanon, but they're also simultaneously like, how the fuck is he just like doing all this shit to America? Riley Withany, thank you for the 5 tier 1 gifted subs. And yeah, ultimately, I think the United States of America is a willing participant in this. They like it. They just like doing evil shit. They like the death and destruction. It makes no other sense. Like it's I don't know what to tell you. They like it. They like the death. They like the destruction. They enjoy watching fucking children get ruthlessly slaughtered with our weapons. It doesn't make any sense. Is Kamala thing helping Israel bring up her numbers? No, dude. No, she doesn't. Okay. There's not a single person who legitimately believes that there is an electoral calculation here in like accelerating Israel's genocide. I'm sorry. No, of course not. That's a lie. And it's not, it's such a glaringly obvious lie that like the media doesn't even say that for the most part. The most they do is just like omit how the voters analyze the situation. And then the most they do is basically omit how most voters want there to be a ceasefire. And the media will at the very most report that like people don't care enough about Israel, right? In an effort to be like, yeah, don't look the other way. Don't look at that. In terms of like what they're doing, I mean, in terms of like their shitty instincts here, this is a great example of this. Alex Soros linked up with Tim Walz in New York City. And besides like the obviously like George Soros conspiracies, Alex Soros, George Soros' son, obviously is a massive Democratic Party mega donor. Why the fuck is Tim Walz linking up with a massive Democratic Party mega donor? What the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you openly hugging and kissing your donors? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Jeet here says, 100% agree. I'd add that it's very strange that Harris and Walz are spending the home stretch of a close election hugging the donor class so tightly. I just don't understand it. Just like I don't understand why she's talking about like cryptocurrencies or whatever. They're like getting their marks from Donald Trump. They literally seemingly are just hearing whatever the fuck Donald Trump says and then repeating it. And it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's weird because all of the best instincts of like the Democratic Party are just cast aside. All the goodwill that they got, all the progressive momentum that they got by swapping out, responding to public pressure that align with donor pressure on the Biden swap out, and then picking fucking Tim Walz as their running mate. They have basically just spent every waking moment since then doing everything in their fucking power to be like, no, this is the establishment Democrats. Like, we are right wing. We are so right. We are the most right wing. We want a lethal military. We want to do border patrol. It doesn't make any sense to me. They've also packed up Tim Walz. No motion from Tim. Okay. Tim is cast aside, even though he was a phenomenal asset to the campaign from an electoral calculus point of view. And they're learning all the fucking wrong lessons if they even care about it at all. I don't even think that they give a shit specifically about like winning or losing. I think they're just like on autopilot. And like, I don't think there's an electoral calculation here at all. I think they're just like, we're going to win this no matter what, regardless. So even if we make it close, it doesn't fucking matter. As long as we as long as we spend all of our time, not it all about winning. No, dude, it is not all about winning. Please stop. Please fucking stop. No, I don't think it's all about winning. I think it's more so about like advancing a neoliberal project that they care significantly more about. I don't think that they are genuinely invested in winning. I think they see that they're winning, and so they're using the capital that they have, what remains of the amount of social capital that they have still, the crumbs of it all, because they are going to win, to demonstrate that their pathway forward is still going to be third way neoliberalism. Which is, I think, stupid. And I think it's stupid because you are carelessly and unnecessarily throwing this election in a bind for no reason, you know? Winning, we can go farther right. Losing, we need to go farther right to win. Yeah.
And the UN Charter, and that we must work with the international community to secure a just and lasting peace. And I told world leaders there, nothing about the end of this war can be decided without Ukraine. However,
yeah, this time around, Kamala Harris will win, and then next time around, it'll be a straight up fucking fascist. Okay? I mean, she's already got she's already doing a genocide, okay? A willing participant. I'm sorry. There's no reason to fucking mince words here. She absolutely is fully on board and fully chalk committed. She has not made any inferences to a different attitude or a different approach to the way that we are examining our relationship with Israel. People try to read the tea leaves, but she very clearly keeps saying, like, no, Israel has a right to defend itself. We're going to have the fucking strong dick military. I don't give a shit. And that's it. If you look over the Vance dossier, be careful because there's a section that shows his personal information, like his address and phone number. Yeah, I'm not going to look over the Vance dossier. I don't really care. His opposition is like literally laid out to bear regardless. But I do think it's funny that Mr. Free Speech fucking banned Ken Klippenstein for publishing it.
However, in candor, I share with you, Mr. President, there are some in my country who would instead force Ukraine to give up large parts of its sovereign territory, who would demand that Ukraine accept neutrality and would require Ukraine to forego security relationships with other nations. These proposals are the same of those of Putin. And let us be clear, they are not proposals for peace. Instead, they are proposals for surrender, which is dangerous and unacceptable. So, President Zelensky, I look forward to our discussion today, and I will continue to work with you to ensure Ukraine prevails in this conflict and remains a free, democratic, and independent nation. Welcome back again.
Thank you so much. Madam.
I'm just saying this is leaving. I don't care if you read it. Your mods gave me a timeout yesterday because of what I said against you were saying at the live, and I got a red flag, and now I have to explain myself everywhere I go. As an Iranian with that username, it's not cool at all. I disagree with right-wingers all the time. No one has done that to me. What are you saying? A red flag? Salam from Iran. What is, you got a red name and you have to explain yourself? Bro, we were watching a fucking innocent man get, like, the Missouri government execute an innocent man. I don't give a fuck about you, like, talking about how, I don't give a fuck about your opinion on capital punishment in that moment. I just don't know what you mean when you say you got a red flag.
Vice President, thanks for the invitation. Happy to see you. Dear journalists, I want to especially thank you for your...
Wasn't there a ton of evidence that showed he was actually guilty? No, there was a ton of evidence. There was a ton of lack of evidence that showed that he wasn't guilty. If you're talking about his fucking priors, it makes no damn sense. Like, yeah, he had priors for robbery. Okay. He did not have a prior for fucking stabbing someone 43 times. He also did not have any fucking DNA on the scene or on the knife. And they mishandled the DNA on the knife anyway. The prosecutors themselves fucking admitted that they messed up. That is unique, okay? It is unique when you have the prosecutorial team be like, this guy is most likely innocent. Can we please not kill him? The family of the victim was, the family of the victim said he was innocent. The prosecutor said he was innocent. Jurors came out and said he was innocent. Doesn't get more fucking innocent than that. How the fuck do you try and justify it after the fact?
Participation in the Peace Summit, and really it was very important, and we remember it. The format was successful. We are preparing.
Maybe I just came across some misinfo. Someone telling me his girlfriend testified that he admitted to her. Yes, she fucking lied, okay? There was a jailhouse confession, which happens quite frequently when there's a fucking reward or lenient sentencing for confession. And the girlfriend also fucking lied about it. There was a private investigator that was actually following the girlfriend who died before she could get a signed affidavit or a signed admission that she fucking lied in her testimony. She was literally bribed, dude.
The second one now, we have to end this war. We need a just peace, and we must protect our people, Ukrainian families, Ukrainian children, and everyone from Putin's civil. And we are grateful to America for supporting Ukraine all along. And we'll have an important meeting today, right after I'd talked to President Biden about the plan of victory, and I will share some details of the plan with Vice President Harris. It's crucial for us to be fully understandable and to work in a full coordination with the United States. And this morning I talked also to to the congressmen, both chambers, both parties, and I'm thankful for the bipartisan support. We believe this war can be won and just peace can be closer only with a...
You think Ukraine is finally making the war too costly for Russia? No, I don't.
With the United States. Madam Vice President.
Yes, my accent wasn't bad. It was a little too French, though.
This is our, you said, seventh meeting?
Seventh.
And not last. And the sword meeting.
Zelensky is not interested in ending the war. Dog, what are you talking about? Zelensky is not a fucking autonomous actor. Okay? Zelensky is not an actor with autonomy in this process. Okay? It is America that is the primary, it is the primary actor in this process.
As far as I remember, the sword meeting this year.
Yes.
Thank you. And I want to inform you about the latest developments on the battlefield, of course, and about Ukraine's actions in the Kursk region.
Dude, Russia is getting its back blown out. What do you mean? Wait, what? Dude. Look. Fuck Vladimir Putin. But if you're like looking at the situation in front of you and going, oh, Ukraine is doing a fantastic fucking job of like purging its ranks of the Russian forces, purging its territorial boundaries of the Russian forces, you haven't looked at a fucking map in like 3 years, I think. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, Russia has annexed eastern Ukrainian territories all the way to the Dnieper River and has maintained those positions and have also fucking fortified said positions. Like, refresh your fucking maps, chatter. Unless you literally think that like the push from Ukrainian forces into Russian territory was like a tremendous fucking win for Ukraine. Meanwhile, not only as far as I understand that Ukrainian offensive was neutralized, but also beyond that, in that process, because of the already strained resources of Ukraine, in that process, Russia was able to make territorial gains inside of Ukraine. It's horrifying. I keep up with the war and it's looking pretty bad for them. Also, free Palestine. I mean, free Palestine. It is looking bad for Russia in terms of like the amount of humans that they're just throwing into a fucking meat grinder. But I don't think it's like, I wouldn't say that Russia is getting its back blown out when Ukraine is running out of human beings to operate the weapons that we're giving them.